As some of you may be aware of, when you jumped on the mindful bandwagon and started becoming mindful and present in your bodies, it uncovers discomfort. And when I was at one of my first retreats and he was saying about settle into the energy field of your body, it was all very new to me. In settling into that stillness, I very quickly become aware that I was not comfortable in my own skin. I could not sit still. Everything about me, if you're trying to tell me to sit still, I'm like, this is shit, it's boring. I would come up with a million excuses to not sit and be still with me. And it was confusing because I couldn't understand, because there was other people that were sitting there lovely and still and all that. But for me, it was just absolute irritation everywhere. And the more I tried to sit still in it, the more awareness it brought to me that there is something fucking wrong inside. Now, I'd had a brief experience before I ever came to one of these retreats, during a bit of NLP therapy, which a lady took me back down my timeline and introduced me to the fact that I had some childhood trauma. Something initially that I absolutely was like, I have not got childhood, before we actually went back down there in the therapy route. I was like, I have not got trauma. I was not abused as a kid. My parents were brilliant. There is no way I've got trauma. In the conversation with the lady, she asked me, because this is when I was in all my chronic pain, and she asked me if all of my pain was caused by any exterior sort of accident or anything. And I was like, no, it's just wear and tear in it. I'm a bricklayer, drug addict, it's just what it is. And she was like, no, it'll be trauma or a suppression of emotions from years of addiction. So we did the NLP thing, and we went back down my timeline, and I'll tell you about the specific shadow in a little bit, but we went back to what I would have said was an absolutely irrelevant moment and not a traumatic event at all, because it was just comments from parents. But in that therapy, I discovered that actually them comments did create a trauma in 4-year-old James. Now, I accepted that, but I still didn't think for 1 minute that I had any other issues inside, because I couldn't think of anything else that could be related to being traumatic or, trauma for a kid. So then it was only when I come here, and like I said, we were getting this settled into the energy field of your body, and I was just unbelievably uncomfortable in my own skin. That again, on the second retreat, because I'd done one retreat in December 2022, April 2023 I came back because it had opened. I came here originally for sound healing, was absolutely fucking unaware what mindfulness was actually going to unlock in me. So I came straight back to the next advanced one, had the same experiences, all this discomfort, and whether it was my ego at the time, but I couldn't understand why no one else was so uncomfortable in their own skin like I was. Now, after the second retreat, because I'd been out of work for years on benefits, I had no money. The money that actually paid for me to get to these retreats was the winter fuel allowance from the government, which happened to be £350 at the time, so I wore jumpers all that winter, because both lots of them paid for me to come to these retreats. And so once I left the second retreat, very much aware that there is something fucking going on inside me. And I'd spoke to these guys and the other teacher that was here, and they had sort of helped me understand that over the years, there's all sorts of stuff that I've probably suppressed. There could be all sorts of other traumas, and all of this stuff, by me actually connecting with my body and getting out of this, because I was totally unaware that I had been, my head was disconnected from my body. I didn't realise I solely lived in this. And by becoming more conscious of my body and feeling all this discomfort, hearing the words shadow work and inner child healing and stuff like that, at the time I was a bit like, what the fuck is all that? I didn't really have a clue about none of it. but I left the second retreat, and I suppose it could be a bit of the addict in me, but I left this retreat like, I want more of that. I want more of sitting in that discomfort. I want to let go of it. I want to understand it. So I went whole hog. For a whole year, I found different spiritual teachers online, watched multiple videos on shadow work, inner childing, to get an understanding of what it was. Before I ever did the actual work, I needed firstly to understand that this shit might even be going on inside me. So I spent a whole year, well, it's actually about 14 months, I think it was, every single day, either doing some sort of shadow work meditation. I found a couple of really good shadow work meditations. I was doing different types of inner child healing, learning all about it. And in this entire year, I was unlocking so much stuff that if you was to really have a conversation about it, didn't sound fucking traumatic, or you wouldn't have said that this was trauma. Or I definitely wouldn't have at the time. But it was only through actually experiencing it, remembering the moments from the past, but I'd never known how much in the past those moments had actually traumatized younger James. And these things went on for years anyway. So in unlocking all of this stuff relentlessly, and understanding that all of my physical pain was never caused by an external problem, and that a suppression of emotions, undealt trauma, will, if not looked at and let go of, will come out in some sort of physical problem in your body. Whether it be autoimmune problems, physical pain, depression, there's just an absolute array of side effects of not dealing with this stuff, you know. So I spent the whole year doing all that work, but the biggest one that I did, and I think it was you that really helped me with this, Adi, was you've got to sit in the silence. You've got to sit in the stillness. And every time that uncomfortable feeling comes up, you've got to sit through it, not run. And yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, because these things at the time were uncomfortable. That's why they never got dealt with, and that's why they got suppressed. So the only way I was going to actually be able to address and let go of this shit was by putting in the serious work of sitting in the stillness and sitting in the silence, feeling all this uncomfortable stuff. And obviously, because I was in pain, and there's a few of you which I definitely know, and everything I say, nothing, even if it sounds like it's about any of you, because I've obviously had conversations with a lot of you, everything I'm going to say is my own experiences. I'm just very aware that some of you will definitely relate to some of this. So in letting go of some of this stuff, or really feeling it, some of it is physically painful. Not just the pain I already had, but just all of a sudden random fucking pains moving, and it was, again, uncomfortable. So in doing all of that work for that year, one thing that became very apparent was that my shadow was born when I was 4 years old. So I will now go, I will sort of, as Adi was talking about the ego and how things can be formed in the early years. My shadow, so ego, was started when I was 4 years old. And it was from comment by my mum telling me that children should be seen and not heard, which is a very common phrase between my mum's generation. I'd always remember them saying it to me sisters, and then they were saying it to me. And until it coming into my awareness that when she said that to me, little James immediately, at 4 years old, not necessarily decided, but thought, I'm not allowed to express how I feel. I've just got to be seen and not heard. So, not going to tell people how I feel. Don't get me wrong, I was still a little boy, I was still fucking naughty, gobby, and all of that, but I never expressed how I genuinely felt. I would kick off, be angry, be whatever, but none of it was ever actually authentic on how I felt about certain situations. So, from that moment, I immediately stopped ever speaking up. And doing a bit more of the work, I discovered that 7 years old, again, my mum, she crossed me across the roads to walk up to school on my own one day, of my first day at junior school. And as she said goodbye, she was like, look, if anyone hits you at school today, you hit them back twice as hard. Now, I remembered that comment and I lived by that comment for my whole life. I did adjust it a little bit. I hit them before they ever hit me. But I never understood why, until I actually was sitting in this stillness. And I wasn't sitting in the stillness on anything specific, but this all of a sudden just popped in my head. How I remembered all of a sudden, the bit that I'd forgot, that when she said that to me, little James was fucking terrified. I was walking up that road like, what, I'm going to get fucking hit. And I remember now being terrified, walking up that road, thinking, look, for me, I thought I'm going to walk into school and someone's just going to punch me straight away. I quickly adapted that to, I don't want to be hit, it's going to hurt, so if I think someone's going to hit me, I'm going to hit them first. Now, that was the bit I lived by. I had absolutely 100% forgotten or shut down that deep that it was never in my awareness that comment traumatized me and made me start to become violent. Now, the problem with that, yes, okay, I was definitely defending myself and I was stopping myself ever getting attacked. But I was only 7. And there was a few times over the next couple of years where I did have to smack a couple of kids, but the problem is when I become 9, when I was about 9, I smacked a kid and I knocked him out in the playground. It wasn't my intention at the time, it just so happened to be sparked out. And the attention that I got from all of the kids in the playground, I mean, these 9-year-olds had never seen anyone be knocked out. That everyone was like in awe of me. Now, I had never fit in. I was never the cool kid, the good-looking kid, the rich kid, the sporty one. I never really felt like I fit in. I was always just kind of like on the background of the group of friends, That moment I knocked that kid out and I got recognised by everyone. And everyone was just, the attention that I got from that was like attention that little James had never felt. Whether my parents or anyone had shown me a lot of attention, I couldn't remember that. I mean, parents and that were great, but the attention I got from all of the other kids at school, all the people that I felt I didn't fit in with, literally made me like create a complete ego shadow. It felt like a completely different personality. I then was like, wow, I want more of that. I like that. I've never ever had attention. All these people want to speak to me, want to tell me how amazing I am. Like, wow, you're so hard, tough, fucking. It was just ridiculous, the attention I got from it. And I can look back and like, I don't remember that until I discovered it during doing the work, but I remember knocking the kid out. Never remember the feeling of how much everyone wanted to know me and all that, all the emotions that come with it. I could never remember that bit till I did the work. But what that did, I wanted more of it. So any opportunity that I could get to get into a fight, I was taking. And the problem was, I suppose I can look back, if I'd have ever actually got beat up, it might have put a stop to it. But the problem was is I didn't get beat up, and I didn't lose for way too many years. So every fight I was getting involved in, every person I knocked out, I was just getting more and more attention. And it was like Adrian was saying, this was feeding this ego, and it just made me want to be more violent. It wasn't the fact that I wanted to necessarily hurt people, although there was a big part of my life that I genuinely believed, until I did all this work, that I was just an angry, violent drug addict. I thought I loved fighting, I loved violence, thought I loved inflicting horrible pain on people. So, it's a fucking tough one doing this. Reliving this lot, that's why there's tissues in it. So, the more attention I got, the more it was feeding my ego, I was fighting more. I then, at about 10, it was just before I went to secondary school, I stuck up for a mate that was getting bullied. One, I wanted to intervene. It was a good mate, I didn't want him to be bullied. He was scared, I wasn't. I jumped in, beat the two lads up that were bullying him. And then I got all this other recognition from everyone for how great I was for sticking up for so-and-so and looking after him. And this brought a whole new world of attention to me. So I then decided, I can now look back now and be like, I decided to become a protector of everyone. It was now my role to protect all of my friends. And I did. Anyone who ever bothered any of my friends, and this went on forever. All through my teenage years, and because when something like that, what I've very much realised, when you get something like that happen to you and you get that attention and your ego takes over, it will feel that forever until you fucking address it. So I become a protector, and I still struggle now not protecting my friends. When I hear certain friends who are going through or having shit from other people, I have to really wind my shit down and notice it, and no, it's not my fight anymore. So that, but I'm not even, so I'm 10, nearly 11. I've already created about 3 or 4 different egos or different versions of me ego, different shadows. And I'm not even fucking 11 yet. Now, before I did go to secondary school, and I only just realised this 2 seconds ago when we were talking out there, I used to be really good at schoolwork. I used to be quite intelligent. Up until I was about 10, I used to always get top marks, always get the gold stars that you used to get in junior school and stuff like that. And when you'd get X amount of gold stars that week, there'd be a public announcement in the assembly that week of who done really well at this, who done really well at that. Can't remember what, just say if it was maths, So there was a fellow pupil that had to read the people's names out that had done well in whatever. This lad fucked up my surname, pronounced it wrong, and the entire place laughed. So my entire year, all laughed like fuck. Now, they were laughing at him for pronouncing it wrong, but he pronounced my name wrong. So I took it, they're all laughing at me. And I did not like that. That fucking hurt bad, having, I don't know, let's just say possibly 100 kids all laughing, that entire hall laughing, and as far as I was concerned, they were laughing at me. So I made a conscious choice then, I'm never going to be laughed at again. And the only way I can do that is by not getting gold stars. So we would be doing our current work, whatever lesson it may be, and I'd go through X amount of it, answering the right questions, and then I would either fuck up a few answers, or just leave them blank, or tell the person sat next to me what the right answers were. So I avoided ever then getting a gold star. Helped other people get the gold stars, but I couldn't ever get the gold star because I could not risk the entire hall laughing their fucking head off at me. So in that moment, that shut down my potential for ever being the best at everything. Because I always had to stay not quite the best. So I never got recognised by everyone. I didn't want the recognition of being the best at anything, just in case it had to be announced. And they fucked my name up again. And everyone laughed at me. And that just stuck with me. All of these shadows, and if any of you relate to anything I'm kind of saying, if you pick up on the fact that some of your shadows have started that young, if you haven't actually gone through the process of doing the work on them, they'll still be affecting you now. That ego and that conditioning from that thing will still be fucking you up right now. It's as simple as that, because everything I'm going to talk about now, I didn't start addressing any of this until I was 42. Now, it started when I was 4. So from 4 years old to 42, there was never a degree of authentic James. James was multiple different people. And so there's been those 5 or so shadows, and I haven't even left junior school yet. And not one of them, if you want to talk about childhood trauma, you wouldn't really go, that's trauma. Because a lot of us associate trauma with the really bad stuff, the sexual abuse and the physical abuse. Because that's exactly how I used to look at it. I haven't got trauma, I wasn't abused, this, that and the other. So, but these minor little comments that you may have been told, or people laughing at you, or anything like that, literally change the entire course of your life, and they stop you being you. And I'd had all this go on, and I haven't even got to secondary school yet. Once I actually got to secondary school, the violence obviously come massively with me. I left junior school with a reputation, because I was the hardest lad in the school in junior school. Went to secondary school, obviously you're then the youngest in the year. The older lads in the secondary school cottoned on to, this kid's come from junior school with this reputation, he needs putting in his place. I wish they fucking had have put me in my place, because it could have stopped it again. But I won. So that just fueled that ego even more, didn't it? I can now beat up older kids. I am super tough. No one can fucking beat me. I am indestructible. No one can beat me. And for a long time I didn't. But I just got more and more violent because of my teenage years. Teenage culture, knocking around down the parks, rivalries between different schools and stuff like that. People would call me up to go, we're going to go and fight so-and-so school. We need you to come with us. So I got all of this attention, not because people wanted to know me. They wanted me there to do the fighting side of stuff. Because one thing I can look back is, I didn't even know who I was. So all of these so-called friends of mine, none of them knew who I was either. They were all just going on the ego that I was living by, So this is like, I'm 11, 12 years old now. Haven't been myself since I was 4 years old. Never spoke my own truth, led a violent life. So from all of those initial early years, I suppressed every single emotion that I may have felt in every single situation, because I had all these different layered egos guiding me in different directions and avoiding me being me. Then at 12, discovered booze. Oh, this is fucking great, isn't it? Let's start drinking. Completely, obviously at the time, thought it was fun. I had no idea, till I was in my 40s, that my idea of fun, it was me numbing everything that was going on inside. I never had to feel anything because I would start drinking. And then by the time I was 13, drugs come on the scene. So it become, in the early days, it was only weekends, I was only drinking and doing drugs every weekend. But so a lot of my friends were just drug takers. I was, from 13 years old, was fucking smashing it. And they wanted to go home, and I never wanted to go home. So I become like a drug addict, and I become the lad that don't go home and will party and will do every drug with you. So I then started associating as a drug addict, or maybe not an addict at 12, 13, but a drug user. And I very much, because I got attention from it. People would phone me up, we're going to so-and-so, can you get us these drugs? So I was very early on, not really dealing, but I just knew the people to get it from. And this was all because of my violence, because I was getting associated with older people who had the drugs. So I very quickly become the person that people would call for drugs or ask to come out on the party. So I now just fully associate now as a drug taker, and a violent one. That obviously went on for the next 25 years, the drug and alcohol part of it. When I got to, so all of secondary school was basically just me living by the violent drug taking ego. That's basically what then dictated the rest of me secondary school. Once I left secondary school and I started college to do bricklaying, when I was working with the bricklayers, they kind of took me under their wing. I was going to the pub straight away after work every night, because that's what they did, went to the pub, had a few beers. So I very quickly liked the fact that I'm now a bricklayer. So I'm going to associate with a bricklayer, and I'm going to do all the things that bricklayers and builders do, and they go to the pub every night and drink and talk shit and fight. So I then just associated and become a bricklayer. Everything apart me, I was a violent, drug-taking bricklayer. Again, a million miles away from who I was, but I just fully sank into it, and I was it, and I associated with it, and that was me, as every part of me, that's who I was. Because during the day, I could be that bricklayer. When I got home, I'd drink or take drugs. Then I'd go to sleep, and I'd do the same thing. So I'd associate as a bricklayer during the day, and then the angry, violent drug taker at night. That again just carried on. More signs of this is not any part of it actually authentic James. None of it was the real me. It was all just a new ego that decided to go, yeah, you can be this person now. Let's go down this path in life. The bricklaying was, or becoming a bricklayer, if you like, and living the lifestyle that bricklayers and builders live in relation to going to the pub every night. That very much started spiralling my mental health out of control, because I was doing sniff during the week, going to the pub every night. I was constantly hungover and stuff. So the anxiety and the depression started when I was about 20. I had my first breakdown at 21 through drinking drugs. See a therapist, a so-called drug counsellor, who came and see me. Give me the worst bit of fucking advice I've ever had in my life, because she come around and she was just like, so how much coke are you doing? She went like, 8 or 9 grams a day. Oh, I've just finished my bricklaying apprenticeship. I'm 8 or 9 grams a day. Shit, I haven't got a problem. I'm only doing 1. Fuck, Jesus. And I was like, oh my God, I have just fucking caused all this shit between my mum, dad, sisters. They're all having an absolute fucking meltdown because I've come back going, I'm a fucking cokehead, I can't cope. And I'm not a cokehead, because the specialist who's come round said, what am I doing 8 or 9 grams a day? So immediately, oh right, okay. I'm not a fucking drug addict then. I'm just a drug user. This is all right then. So I could just be a drug user now. This is so much better than the drug addict that I fought yesterday. fucking fantastic. So I now had this, it was such a relief. It was fucked up. So I was, the pleasure I got in hearing her say that and me going, I'm not a drug addict. The relief from that, because it was already starting to weigh me down being violent and a drug addict, but I never knew that there was reasons causing it all. I just thought that's who I was. And to be given this little bit of an insight that I wasn't a drug addict messed me right up, because then that just gives me free rein. Because until I'm doing 8 or 9 grams a day, I ain't got a fucking problem. And every time I ever started to struggle, that little voice in my head went, you've only done 4 grams today, you're fine. Oh, okay then, yeah, it's just stupid me feeling like crap. I'm not depressed, I'm not an addict. And it fucking just kept fueling it. And I had multiple breakdowns. But even when I'm having a fucking breakdown, the little voice is going, you're still only on 6 grams. You're not there yet, you're just being weak. Man up and get on with it. Honestly, it was fucking terrible. So, what are we in now? Fucking hell, I'm about 20 years old now, aren't I? 21. The shadow. So for the next few years, when I wasn't a drug addict and I was just a drug user, I did try a couple of relationships with women that didn't take drugs. Because even though I had been told I'm not a drug addict, I knew there was a problem. I had a deep knowing that there's something still not right though, because I didn't feel good. So I purposely, if you like, chose women that didn't take drugs. So I was like, if I get with you, you'll stop me doing drugs. You will make me better. And I fucking believed that. Because I thought, because I can't make me fucking better, but you can. I'll put all that responsibility on fucking you. That's that'd be a great idea. A couple of them relationships went tits up. I eventually ended up having my son with one of them. Now, becoming a dad, when you're in that sort of a mess, and I should never have become a dad because I was in a fucking relationship I shouldn't have ever been in, because I was in it wanting that lady to fucking heal me. There's nothing authentic about it. Just fucking, you know what I mean, poor woman, ultimately I fucking just lied to her for fucking years. And then obviously she got pregnant. All through the 9 months of her being pregnant, I put the responsibility on my unborn son of making me heal. It was all my unborn son's responsibility now, because the moment he comes out, that's going to stop me doing drugs. So I took on this, when he was born, when he was in the fucking incubator, about an hour old, I actually verbally put that fucking pressure on him and said, you're going to stop me doing coke, son. Fucking kid's wired up to fucking oxygen and shit. But fucking that's what my ego, if you like, wanted to put that fucking responsibility on him, because I couldn't fucking do it. And I generally thought, fucking at the time when I was saying it, I thought me 1 hour fucking boy was going to take that responsibility on the fucking chin and go, yeah, I'll sort you out. So, even becoming a parent, one thing I've definitely learned, that was a different ego in its own, in becoming a parent. I associated with being this dad. It wasn't me. You know, if I could have been me, I could have been a proper dad. But my ego, I was just trying to be what I thought a dad was. Well, this is probably going to sound like bullshit, really, because I thought by becoming a dad and identifying as a dad and always taking my kid, I did take him out, and I would always every night I'd finish work, I'd push him around the streets, I'd come straight in, intentionally, straight away, put him in the pushchair, take him off his mum and go for a walk. And I thought I was doing it for him. But what I was doing it for the whole town to see that I wasn't the fuck up that everyone thought I was. I was a fucking dad. So being a dad cut me off from ever wanting or ever trying to become me. I associated with this dad, and this dad role would also fucking heal me or make me better. And God, fucking, I tell you what, it takes some fucking getting over fucking the guilt and shame that you create when you're an addict and you're a dad or a mum. If you're willing to fucking actually look at it. Excuse me. Being the addict dad, or trying not to be the addict dad, but still fucking absolutely, because deep down I knew I was a fucking failure and I was never going to give this fucking poor kid a good life the whole time I was like it. I just fucking lied to myself and everyone around me more and more and more. I promised that little kid, or I put the responsibility on him. So many fucking times over the years that I might blame him for his behaviours made me go out and get on it tonight. Or I'd put the responsibility on him being my son's gonna fucking heal me. You know, I put so much fucking pressure on a kid that didn't even know what the fuck was going on. And he was unaware that I was putting all this pressure on him. While he had to fucking live daily with me being fucking angry and violent and road rage incidents. You know, I had that kid fucking bawling his eyes out in car seats while I'm fucking trying to rip someone's car door off because they beeped at me and I'm trying to smash the fucking window through and he's screaming his head off. This is what I said earlier on, about the impact of our unfucking resolved egos or unhealed ego shadows, the impact that has on other people. Because we will portray our fucking insecurities, and I did, and not just on my boy, on fucking anyone that's close to me. I'd portray it onto them, to the point that I blame them if I fuck up, and they, you know, I would just put it all onto other people. I would try and fucking control. I couldn't control me fucking self. But I would try and control the people close to me, my son. And when they didn't fucking do as I was told, I'd fucking kick off and go mad. Then they've got to actually deal with me flying off the handle when they've done nothing fucking wrong. They're trying to do right by me because I'm issuing all these things that they got to fucking do to make me happy. And when they don't do exactly how I fucking needed it to be done, I'm telling them they're fucking wrong. And you're wrong, you haven't done it how I fucking want it. And I never could, I can only see this now, you know, but I was a fucking arsehole. Because of all of my unhealed fucking ego traumas, lifetimes of fucking fucked up conditioning and patterns, nobody was ever going to do the right thing by me. You could have done whatever I wanted, absolutely fucking perfect. But because inside me, I was the one that was doing everything wrong. I was doing wrong by me. I was doing wrong by everyone else. Everything about my existence was fucking wrong. But would I take fucking responsibility for any of that back then? It was everyone else's fault. And if you did not do what I said, I felt like you disrespected me. The shit I used to give my son for disrespecting me, whereas now I can look back and go like, I didn't deserve any fucking respect. Like, I was such a fucking mess and I put so much shit on my boy and the people around me that they were never going to do the fucking right thing. It wouldn't have mattered. And I never realised how much my own insecurities I tried to then control other people over and over and over again, and lost people along the way and fucking traumatised me. I would definitely traumatised my son fucking millions of times, unfortunately, because of my own problems. I portrayed all of my own insecurities onto everybody else, and people didn't have a fucking, half the time people didn't even have a clue what I was fucking going mad for, or screaming at them for disrespecting me. People would be standing there like, what? Did what you asked. Because it might have been slightly fucking wrong. Now you're fucking getting it. Because I was so out of control in myself, even though, yes, I know that now, but back then, I didn't know. I demanded fucking respect from people. I demanded everyone did everything how I fucking insisted it be done. Half the stuff, I didn't even really know how to do it myself. I'd tell people to go and do something that I've got no idea how to do it myself. But when they done it wrong, I'd go fucking mad. And I'll now look back and I'm like, what the fuck? Who were you? You didn't even know how to do it yourself. But because I was so out of control myself, I'd become a control freak. I insisted that everybody did it how I wanted and my way, even though I didn't actually know how to fucking do it, but I'd insist that they did it my fucking way. And it's only through now that I can look back and actually go like, fuck me. You was demanding all this fucking respect from people because I needed people to respect me because I didn't respect myself. That was the bottom line of all of that. That because I didn't respect myself, or I didn't like myself, I portrayed all that disrespect and hate, and everyone around me are the fuck-ups. Everyone around me are the ones that are doing everything wrong to make me feel like this. And it's not. It's me. And it's the same with all of you. If any of you are relating to anything that I'm saying, the problems are inside you. Whether you like it or not, because admitting it and accepting it is the hard bit. Because your ego does not want to lose control. You start fucking accepting that you've got problems and accepting that you've got the work to do, your ego's going to lose control, and it will use fucking every little trick in the book to keep you controlled. And you will fucking turn it on everybody else. So obviously they're like a few examples of the different layers of my ego that started at 4, went all the way into me being a dad. Pretty much, I was a dad at 26. From then on, for the next 15 years, I was just the same, just angry, violent, drug addict dad. I'm sure there was probably more shadows and egos created along the way, but I hadn't really, in all fairness, thinking about this talk, even got to the bottom of that, because I got to the dad one and it fucking hit home fucking hard. And I still haven't fully healed any of that, because I have still got the guilt and shame. Nowhere near the degree that I used to have, because one thing I've definitely learned is, okay, I could go back and let go of the guilt and shame on that situation. But there was hundreds of situations. So just the guilt and shame of being the dad is so multi-layered. You may well go through a process of letting something go that's really uncomfortable and really fucking tough. Don't think for 1 minute, this is in my opinion, that you've probably fucking healed it all. Especially if it's quite a big one. There could be multi-layers of that same ego, if you like, that same trauma, whatever. There could be so many different layers, and this is what I'm uncovering, because through understanding and recognising all of this, I have had the conversations with my son. I have owned up. I've admitted all of everything that I've done wrong. I've given him permission to be free and honest with me about how I affected him. You know, we have had some amazing talks, honest talks. Our relationship so much fucking better. And I'd had, generally, if you'd have asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you I'm over the guilt and shame of what I caused my son. In just jotting down all my different shadows starting to form, when I got to the fucking dad bit, broke down massively again. I realised, I've let go of guilt and shame related to some situations, but there's still so many that I have not let go of, which is why it still hurts me now just to even fucking admit what I did to my son. So the healing journey is fucking multi-layered. I hear quite a lot. And I said it myself, is Chris in there? Oh, she's not. So you'll remember this. In my journey here, there was multiple times when I walked out of one of these talks or one of the energy practices that all the previous retreats fucked me up and I cried my eyes out, had a massive breakdown, walked out. Oh, I was like, I didn't cry that time, I'm fucking healed. Come on, wicked. Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah. Go into the next class, James, see how you get on. Absolute fucking breakdown. And I did that exact same thing on 3 separate occasions. Convinced myself I'd fucking healed. And then got a good fucking brutal lesson the fucking next class. But in relation to doing the work on this ego and shadows and traumas from the past, yes, there is obviously different types of therapy that you can do, and I don't knock a little bit of therapy, because I had 2 or 3 therapy sessions with this particular lady that worked. Over the years, I had seen multiple therapists, hypnotherapists, drug counsellors, anger coaches, fucking all of it, which they were all in it for the fucking money. I've only ever met one therapist that was actually in it to help me, and them NLP sessions did work. Until I come here and had the same impact on the fucking therapy sessions I was having by sitting in stillness. I was like, what the fuck? So actually, I would say probably about 90% of, if you like, the healing work I've done that worked was just sitting still, preferably in nature, have a nice little bit of thing, but because I did a lot of my journey when I was still in all my chronic pain, a lot of mine was just done on the sofa. And sitting in the discomfort, and this is what a lot of people turn away from, because it's shit. And they're like, that's fucking pointless. Because your ego will come up with a million fucking reasons why not to sit there in stillness, why not to sit there in the uncomfortable moment, because it don't want you to fucking heal. Because if you start healing and letting go of whatever the events were from the past, whatever it may be, your ego loses control, and you start gaining back control. And like I say, your ego don't want it, and it will, like I say, it will come up. I'm bored. I spoke to someone the other day. I was mentioning baths. Oh no, I don't like baths. No, boring. Boring. Okay. sitting in a nice, hot, warm, soapy bath, you class as boring. Do you not think it could potentially be the fact that you're going to sit there in stillness, in quiet, in a peaceful environment, and this fucker's going to kick in, which you don't want to sit with? Now, you can tell yourself as much as you fucking like that a nice, warm, relaxing hot bath is boring. And listen, I'm not really one for fucking turning around and telling you what your fucking problems are, because I don't agree in that. But I'd like, if any of you are relating to the boring bath, be honest with yourself. Is the bath boring, or can you just not sit with the uncomfortableness of actually sitting still in the bath and feeling all that discomfort come up? Because this is the biggest thing for a lot of people. The moment they start feeling that shit, they're like, nah, I'm out of here. Ain't doing that, don't need to. And I do get it, because this shit's it was shut down in the first place because it's uncomfortable, unpleasant, whatever it was, whatever reason we shut it down. Letting it out is equally, if not fucking doubly, as uncomfortable. But it's only uncomfortable. It's not hurting you. Yes, some people, there's people in here that definitely experience physical pain when that energy gets on the move. It is only physical pain. I don't say that lightly, even though it sounds like it, because it's fucking horrendous dealing with pain. But it is only pain. And your mindset and how you talk to yourself about it dictates how bad that pain is. If you're going to sit there and say, I can't do it, I can't do this pain, it's killing me, it's uncomfortable, I can't do it, well, you're just reinforcing to yourself that you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to tell every cell in your fucking body that you ain't going to be able to do that. And that's just, and your ego's going to go, fucking sweet, we got one over that, he ain't going to let go of that, I've still got control. So sitting with the discomfort is the biggest thing, without a fucking doubt. Obviously I did energy work, I did Qigong. This is all in my year of healing. I did do Qigong every day, just to assist in getting energy moving. As I said earlier, I did all sorts of shadow work meditations, learnt about inner child healing. And I walked in nature. Walking in nature I would class as the second best thing after just sitting in the discomfort. Yes, I did learn a lot from YouTube. Come across some amazing teachers on YouTube. Some life-changing meditations, in all honesty. But it only worked because I applied it. Now, you can watch or read as much as you fucking like on healing, anything. You can watch and research as much as you fucking like. If you don't apply that knowledge, then it's fucking irrelevant. Might as well not even waste your time fucking reading the books, watching all the videos, because you can sit there and watch this video all about, let's say, shadow work, watch it all, yeah, okay, right, and not do it. Waste of fucking time. You've got to apply. If you're going to learn something or study something to help you heal, if it be in a book or YouTube or something like that, you have to apply what they are telling you or what they're advising you that could help. And like this place, on these retreats, any of the little practices or teachings that you hear or learn from Steve, if you don't apply it, well, there's just no fucking point. Because the only person that's going to do the healing for you is you guys. You have to apply it, anything that you learn, and actually do the work. No amount of reading about it, learning about it, is going to help if you don't actually apply it.
Can I add something there?
Yep.
if you're just collecting the information, it's ego.
You're collecting a story.
You're just inventing a new story.
Of course it is.
Yeah. The new me that knows how to heal myself. Can't be asked to do it, but I know how to do it. And I can tell you how to do it.
Are you feeding the soul or the story?
My story.
Yeah.
Sorry, James.
No, that's good. No, I like that. Yeah, that's really good. So obviously, in doing all that work, obviously over 14 months, I let go of an absolute lorry load of suppressed emotions, traumas, all of this stuff, massively working on dissolving my ego and stuff. At the end of that 14 months, one thing I'd healed myself, if you like, of my bad addictions, the cocaine, painkillers and booze ones. But then I'd also healed myself of all my physical pain, which was fucking fantastic. Because literally going from 5 years of crippling chronic pain to literally overnight, or in the process of about 12 hours, all of a sudden having none. I'm like, yeah, I've healed myself, right. And then came with the fact that something I wasn't expecting, that my ego, that was been fucking me right up for years, and was very, very negative and all of that, jumped on the fucking spiritual bandwagon and went, yeah, man, you's a fucking healer. You healed you. You can heal everyone. You healed you of cocaine addiction and painkillers and chronic pain. Well, you can heal anyone. That's it. And I went full in. I was contacting addicts that I know. Come see me, I'll heal you. I will heal you. Because I healed me. I'm fucking amazing because I healed pain, addiction. I'm just fucking fantastic. So I can heal everybody. And I went all in on it. I was helping one guy who was a crack addict. I was having him around my house every night for dinner. I was letting him bath. I was telling him to do this. He has to do this. He has to do this. He has to do this. And he has to do this. And he has to do this. And it started to drive me fucking nuts because he wasn't doing it. And he was still smoking crack. And it wasn't sitting well with me. But fucking listen to me. I will heal you. Will you just fucking listen to me? Jesus Christ, you don't have to heal you, I'll heal you. Because I am fucking amazing. I am a healer. Yeah. You give me a good fucking hard talking to right out there about that one, because I actually specifically said, can I come to a retreat aid? I'm really fucking struggling. Turned up, sort of ranting on the Friday night. What's going on there, mate? It's fucking addicts doing my nothing. No, fucking absolutely give it to you. All right. Who healed you, James? Well, I fucking healed me, didn't I? Yeah, so you healed you. Yeah, that's why I can heal fucking the whole world. Because I was unhealable. And I healed me. So I can definitely heal everyone. And he gave me a good fucking hard talking to, that the only people that heal anyone are ourselves. Yes, we can study stuff, we can apply things, we can get knowledge from other people, we can do bits of it, we can get guidance, we can go for bits of therapy and stuff like that, and different energy work, little bits of it. But the work is to be done ourselves. Nobody is healing you other than you. So no amount of you going, I need to go for fucking this session to heal me. I need that person over there to heal me. That energy worker, he'll heal me. She'll heal me. That therapist will heal me. Well, I'll just open your eyes up right now. You ain't never going to do no fucking healing. The moment you constantly put in that responsibility on to someone else to heal you,
outside of yourself,
you're staying fucking stuck. As simple as that. And if you do go through the process of a lot of your own healing, and you get to become a spiritual healer like I was. Yeah? You've got to have a fucking good hard look at yourself, because you are also not healing anyone. I see this all the time, and I was the worst one for it. Well, not the worst one, but this impacted me massively. Because when Steve got a load of tuning forks, they helped with pain, they'd helped me. Right, so I started using these tuning forks on people. Of course it started helping people with their pain. So even though he'd already given me a good hard talking to about the fucking healing side of stuff and who healed me, found something else that I can heal people with. Let's do tuning forks on fucking everyone. And I did like one retreat, like tuning forks. It just so happened like everyone had turned up with fucking pain.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's okay. The day surgery's down there. 15 people later. Well, I don't even think I did the sound bath that night. I was asleep by about 7 o'clock. Fuck. Absolutely wrote off. Because I thought I'm going to heal them all. So do you know what I'll do is I'll put every bit of my energy into healing you guys, or you, because I'll heal you. What I hadn't fucking realised is, one, I still got some healing to do myself. And by me wanting to heal everybody else, you come and tell me you've got a problem, sweet. Let's talk about you, let's come and heal you. Because I don't have to look at me no more. And even though I was right on the journey of healing, there was still stuff that needed working on, still a fucking spiritual ego that needed a good fucking kicking, because that thing was just ruling me. And that's what I hadn't realised. This spiritual ego was now consuming me, stopping me from doing the work on me, or just being me. Because instead of being authentic James, no, I'm this fucking spiritual healer. And in that, I'm like, I better go and learn that Reiki shit. That's what the little fucking healers do. I'm going to do a bit of Reiki too, because that means I can heal even more fucking people. So I'm right on this. It was all just a fucking distraction from myself. Now, I'm not disputing. Like, I've had Reiki, I've had all sorts of different things, and they're brilliant. Now and again. It's not... You can't become, like, I tried to become the healer. So I'm going to be a tuning fork healer, I can heal addiction, I can heal pain, I'm now going to be a Reiki healer, I'm going to be all this. And this was just then, again, creating this whole different new ego. I'd let go of, if you like, all my really bad shitty ones, thinking I'm really fucking good. Of course, being a spiritual healer, this is fucking good, isn't it? No, it weren't good at all.
Because it just stops the healing.
Yeah, stop my own healing.
We had a little conversation before this, and I often say to people at the end of a talk, was that any good? What did I say? Because I ain't got a clue what I said. Because the best talks happen when I'm not here. And it's the same.
When the ego gets out of the way.
When the ego gets out of the way.
Yeah.
All of this talk, James and Dears, comes straight from the heart, straight from source. And you can feel it. And that happens when the ego's not here. In fact, the ego wouldn't let you sit here and do that.
Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. And like I said, there was no ego. Like, even though I had anxiety about sitting down and doing this talk, me, James, was excited about doing it. I want to do this sharing. I don't... Because I started my own journey on social media as soon as I started my recovery from addiction. Because when my eyes were opened up, to the fact that, there's root causes driving all of this stuff. And it's not the big traumas that I thought you had to have. Mine was all little stuff. So I was like, I'm going to start sharing this stuff. I'm going to make videos on Instagram about it. I don't give a shit how many likes I get. I'm not doing it for that. But if one person watches a video and goes, oh shit, and just can relate to anything that I've said, and that might make them have a look at themselves, that's all I want. Don't think that's ego.
No. The ego wants the like and will compromise the content in search of the likes.
Yeah, and do you know what, actually, the third video, so I'd made 2 videos, my first ever 2 videos on social media, as I speak now. Just completely normal, swearing, burping, whatever, picking me nose, absolutely just raw. My family, my mum and my sisters, all moaned that I swore too much and I'm putting it all over social media. So, okay. So the third video I made, I consciously didn't swear. And the private messages I got from people going, what the fuck was that? Your first 2 videos were authentic. What the fuck was that fake thing? Where was the swearing? You seem so fake. And that was all this ego of mine, not wanting, like my parents, as my sister saying, like, don't swear, and me going, oh, the world doesn't want me to swear. So I made this false video, and I'm so grateful to them few people that actually messaged me and went, no, we wanted the authentic version, the one that you burped in the last video and swore your fucking head off. We want that, because there's too many all over social media and spiritual teachers that are not authentic. You watch their videos or they see their social media, YouTube stuff. You can see the ones that are authentic and you can see the ones that are just, if you like, teaching from a book. They're just reading to you or explaining to you what they've watched themselves or read. You can see when there's no actual authenticity in the fact that this person's probably experienced this and is talking from a point of experience, which is what I try my best to do, because I haven't specifically gone and learnt anything like these talks and my other talk. It's all me just sharing my own experiences. I'm not there trying to say, you've got to do this because I've read this book or I studied this and I know this and you must listen to this and blah, blah, blah. All I'm doing is sharing my personal experiences on the things that I applied that weren't, the difficulty that I had to go through to uncover all of this stuff. And it keeps it authentic, I think.
If it's not authentic, it's of no value.
Yeah.
I mean, your style is mindfulness with a few fucks thrown in, isn't it, really, to be fair? It's got to be real, isn't it? If it's not real, it's ego. It's fake.
Although the swearing does lessen when the challenge gets resolved.
Yeah.
About the brickwork and the... You noticed it, didn't you?
Yeah. This is a good example, actually, like I say, especially with unresolved stuff. So I give up building, if you like, back in 2019. That's when my body packed up on me. Obviously went on this big journey. Obviously I still swear, but I don't swear out of like aggression or like things annoying me and things like that. It's just, I just swear.
Emphasis.
Started doing some building work again for our friend's house across the road, and what was it, the first day, wasn't it? Yeah. Fucking hours into me being
personally on this building site.
Hours into me being a bricklayer again. I can't remember, I was cutting a brick or something, like fucking, excuse my language, I was like, fucking cunt.
Yeah, I was going to say the C word.
And then I was like,
shadows here.
I was like, oh, I haven't fucking said that. And then you come over. I think I said it again, didn't I? And then I felt really embarrassed that Steve had noticed it. But it was also, through being able to have that conversation, I was like, wow, this is like, I just immediately, just by picking up a trowel, just went straight back into Bricklayer James. Mindset, mentality, language, yeah. Literally the bricklaying hard hat and mask went straight back on, and the foul language just come out. Fucking. But we resolved that in a couple of days, didn't we? Because I then had another moment a couple of days later. I was doing something, and I was like, oh, and he went, oh my God, that was definitely a cunt. So it was, I had, it had been brought to me awareness a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh shit, right, I need to be aware of this now. And very quickly, by being aware of it and being conscious of how I was then talking, the next mistake I made was oh, it might have been an "oh, fuck it."
Yeah.
There's probably definitely a "fuck it" in there. But I didn't drop the massive C-bomb, you know. So it's just a process of like, for me, it's definitely been a process of unlearning all my bad conditioning. You know, there was, when I embarked on this journey, all of it was very apparent very quickly, like, oh shit. Like my whole life's a lie. And look, forget about even the lies we're being told out there. The lies I told myself was bad enough. Forgetting, like I say, literally forget about all that bullshit out there. The lies I've been telling myself, my whole life's a lie. I've literally got to unlearn everything that I have learnt and start fucking again. And it's been the most amazing thing that I've ever done. Because it was like being reborn. Slowly. Slow rebirth. Painful labour.
Well, it is kind of like being reborn.
It's definitely
Because
reborn.
you get that authentic curiosity of a child again. And you go, what's going on?
It does feel like it, doesn't
Why
it?
am I not doing it?
Do you even recognise who you were?
Oh no.
No, it wasn't you, was it?
No, 100%.
And I look back on my darkness. Yeah, and I went to wandering around the village that I lived in when I was badly in my addiction days, and I go, I slept in that hedge, yeah, I had a fight in that pub, and that's where I lost the dog. It was. I can remember it all, but it didn't seem like it was me. It was always like somebody else's life. I remember. Did you get that?
Yeah. I mean, and this is something I can look back on in relation to how far away I was from actually being my authentic self, like who I am now. Because the old version of James, firstly, you'd never have got him in here. He'd never be sitting in here. And in all honesty, old James would probably not have spoken to any one of you lot, because you're all nice people. I would not have given you the fucking time all day. The moment if we'd have encountered each other, now if any of you got with addiction issues like I had, I'd have definitely spoke to you. But any of you just general nice people, I wouldn't have even fucking entertained talking to you. The moment I conned on you nice, I'd have fucking done one. And that's how far you can change. And when you actually really, and it's fucking difficult when you actually realise, if you have anywhere the degree of fucking egos that I had, it's tough accepting that you've got a shitload of work to do. And this is why a lot of people won't do it. Because when you start looking, start uncovering more and more and more. And it's a fucking tough pill to swallow, man. Like, I've got so much work to do. And okay, the situations in the past were probably not your fault. But the responsibility is yours on healing it all.
You have to be careful not to put time on this. Because, yes, there is a journey of recovery and healing, but it's not a future event.
No, ongoing journey forever.
You're healing in this moment. It's the ego that wants to put a future on it. And it will create mountains for you because it doesn't want change.
So you're healed.
It'll tell you you're healed. It'll also tell you it's an impossible mountain.
Yeah.
One of the things that I
can't do this.
Always say to people I work with addictions is, don't count your days. Stop counting. Yeah. I'll never get through the next month. You haven't got to get through the next month. You just got to focus on your breathing now.
Yeah.
And if you don't create the mountains, you haven't got to climb them. So this James is describing this momentous healing journey, but this journey's all happened in the present moment.
Yeah.
All happened in the present moment.
And that again goes back to the sitting in the stillness, because
yeah, absolutely.
In the present moment, if you can sit still, you can sit through the discomfort, possible pain, and you might have to sit like that for a fucking hour. Some of it might be, that discomfort might ease in 5 minutes. But you've got to stay sat in it, in that present moment, to be able to let go of it. And all the healing happens in the present moment, and by you. So like I say, there's some, for me, it was, the hardest bit was actually admitting it, admitting that I had the work to do, admitting that the problems in the past were not my fault, but the healing is my responsibility now. And like I say, there is no time on it. It is a journey. I mean, I'm 3.5 years into this, whatever. I was crying 2 seconds ago. There was no thing of me saying I'm healed. It's an ongoing journey. All I've done is I've got off the same cycle of shit and I jumped on the never-ending roller coaster, because there is no end to it. And it is not all fucking fairies and unicorns. That's why it's a roller coaster. It is going to fucking go all over the gap. It'll level off a little bit and you'll be like, like that. Oh, I just had 3 days. Oh, I'm fucking moving on. Yeah, so it's a journey. There is no end to the healing. If you ever do hear me say I'm healed, smack me around the face, because I don't personally believe any of us are ever healed. Because we're still on the journey of life. There is still things going to come up that we can't even remotely predict that will trigger something from the past. And it's just a case of having the tools and the skills and the presence to notice it and heal it in that present moment, not let it fuck you up and consume you for the next 10 years. So it's all about a journey. Don't try and go like, I need to be healed by fucking Christmas, or I am healed, or I'm more healed than you, because this is another big one which I will finish on. They're all our own individual journeys. It does not matter if you consider someone else's past traumas or anything like that worse than yours. They're all individual. There are our own individual traumas that happened to us as kids or through life, how we took it on. Yes, obviously some people have got the big T's and some people have got the little T's, but they're our own journeys. So please do not ever think that, oh yeah, so-and-so was sexually abused as a kid, I wasn't, so I'm not that bad, I don't have to do any healing, because all I was told was children should be seen and not heard. If there are things inside you that are disrupting your peace, fucking up your future or your present moment, that's your trauma. They're your experiences. So no one's problems are any bigger or any smaller than anyone else's. Because this is a big one that people, if they don't think that they've got a bad past, they won't look into it. And in all fairness, I think, because we were all traumatised by our parents, don't give a shit.
Life is here to traumatise you.
Yeah.
That's the world's job, is to traumatise you.
And if you hear anyone, or you say yourselves that you haven't got any past problems, that's your ego making damn sure you don't look. So if you tell yourself that you had a cushy fucking childhood, you've got no problems from the past, just know your ego's telling you not to look. Everything's okay. Because it knows if you look, it's going to lose control.
Just trying to bring your attention back into the now, because it is a journey, but it's a journey that goes nowhere and takes absolutely no time at all. There's a journey deeper into the present moment and a deeper realisation of who you really are, or not in that case. So this will give me a lot to think about in the last 2 talks, and I don't want you to think about it, because that's the ego wanting to comprehend and put it in a box and understand and murder it. This is as simple as breathing. Bring your present attention into the present moment, anchor your attention on your breath, and the job is already complete. This healing is happening now as you sit here. It's not a linear journey. Thank you, James.
Yeah.
No, also,
Fucking hell. That was done it.
Just give it ego hammering.